What is up, all you action figure collectors out there? I am back with another action figure review. And for today's review, this is going to be the review that I've promised y'all in my most recent Mafex Hush Superman figure review. We're about to be taking a look at the Mafex Hush Blue Batman. All right. And I'm gonna tell you, I am kind of irritated simply because this figure has arrived late. You know, like at 8 something, because that's what it's currently out here. But then, try joking with myself that I guess that it makes sense simply because Batman prefers to fight crime at night. Oh, right. But anyways, taking a look, you do get that window box packaging and where you get to see the figure. And you do, here on the bottom, you do get a picture of the figure. And I'm going to tell you, this Batman looks like it was packaged better than the Superman. Yeah, but he doesn't have the updated DC logo. But let's move on. Here on the side, you once again get a picture of the figure and Batman Hush. Same on top. Alright, and here on the back, you do get the figure in various poses. And I think here, it's some kind of Japanese writing. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend. I mean, if you speak Japanese, you could zoom in and pause it and read it. And here on the side, you do get another image of the character. Right. So yeah, I have been waiting to get this figure for a long time, even though I wanted the black one. Even though I wanted the black version more, but I always have planned on getting this figure first. But you guys know that I do not like spending too much time on the package, so let's get him open and see what he's all about. Okay, so now here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging along with all the other contents, and he does come with a lot more accessories than the Superman, which is kind of ironic because Superman has cost more, but Superman doesn't really fight with any weapons or anything, so I guess. But yeah, but it looks like he comes with a good amount of things, but there are some things that I wish he came with, and I want to say when I got him out of the box, it appears that I didn't get so lucky because I have spotted a lot of QC issues on him, and I'm pretty sure they are the QC issues that previous reviewers of this figure have pointed out, but we'll talk more about that later. Alright, but first let's take a look at his accessories, and then we're gonna look at the Dark Knight or Caped Crusader himself. Okay, so now looking at all the accessories that this figure comes with, is that he comes with 7 sets of interchangeable hands, and he comes, with some batarangs, and he does come with some, grapple effects, and he comes with 3 types of different heads, 2 masked heads, one where he's just in a neutral face, whatever you want to call it, and 1 Bruce Wayne head, and 1 grinning teeth head, and like he first comes with 2 close-fisted hands, which comes attached to the figure once you get him out of the box. He comes with some, I think you could call, like, I don't know, fist-catching hands or relaxed hands. He also comes with He also comes with these grippy hands. I'm thinking these are made for the batarangs. I think, you can see, with this loop here, you know, but I think that's made for holding batarangs or his cape. And he does come with these close-fisted, you know, blade hands. These are obviously batarangs, and now these ones might probably be my favorite out of all of them. you know so you can recreate those scenes where Batman was punching through things or punching people, with the battering hands. Like, yeah. And he does come with these grappling hook hands, and they are not removable, which is a bummer, but I guess it's good, so you don't like lose it, like it's sculpted in, like. But yeah, but what's really cool is that you could just attach this, like there's like a peg hole on top, and you just set it in there and it'll stay in there nice and tight. And I really love that this is made out of some kind of metal, some kind of thin metal. But this is made of plastic, and it got some good detail on it. Like, I really love the look of it. He also comes with one, that's shorter, which is also made of metal. So I really love that Mafex did that. He also comes with these, relaxed hands, what you could call them. He also comes, I think these are the battering hands, but I'm guessing because it'll stay in there nice and tight, so you can have them throw batterings. I think these are also battering hands, like, but yeah. But I think these are some good sets of hands. And he does come, you know, with four batterings, with two different ones. You know, you know. I think I like this one better than this one. I don't know, but they both look really cool. I do like the metallic, paint work on it. Paint work on it. All right. Oh yeah, and I also forgot to mention he does come with this flight stand, you know, or I guess you could call a grappling posing stand, since Batman grapples and, like he can't fly. He also does glide, but mine has came extremely loose. I'm guessing the screw is loose, so I'm gonna have to try to see if I could find a screw, and so I could tighten this up. But it's nothing really special. It's the same exact stand that comes, that came with the Superman. But yeah, like once again, I didn't get so lucky, since I'm getting the noticeable QC issues on my figure. Okay, so switching out the hands is really simple. So you just pop off the hand and then put in the hand I want to replace it with. I'm using it didn't give no gift, because I just put on the kryptonite ringed hand, which came with the Superman, so I could, so now I could finally, if I wanted to recreate the scenes where Batman is battling Superman, and he punches Superman with the kryptonite ring. He only comes with one. I mean, it would have been cool and interesting if Batman still came with a kryptonite ringed hand. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So he could fight Superman with both hands. But yeah, here's how he looks with the kryptonite ringed hand. It's also really easy to swap out the head, so you just pop off, the head, and just, um, put on the head you want to replace it with. Okay, so now for the figure itself, now just like, what I said in my Superman review, I am blown away that I actually now finally own this figure. Like, you know, this was, a figure that I have been starving to get for a long time. Even once again, even though I wanted to get the black one more, but I've always thought that, you know, that I should get this figure first, because, it's always better to save the best for last. Alright, so now I do want to say that I think that Mafex has done a fantastic job at replicating Jim Lee's artwork onto this figure. Now, because I would say that this is a a gorgeous looking figure. Or, this is definitely one of my favorite designs of Batman, even though I prefer the black one. But this will definitely be one of my favorite Batman designs. So now the QC issues I've been talking about and why I didn't get so lucky is that I happened to come across this issue when getting him out of the box. It easily cracks open, which is a huge bummer. And but I can easily close it back. I'm not sure how to fix that issue, but it's there. But it doesn't really take away on how good this figure looks. He also is super loose, which we'll go over a bit later, probably when we get to articulation. But yeah, I really love this Bat logo. This is definitely one of my favorite Batman logos of all time. And I really love how they painted the blues. And the blues pretty much, they do match perfectly. I really love how they painted the blues on this. And I really love how they painted this logo black. I do like the detail on the belt, but it seems like it's a separate piece. If you cut this, you could pop this off and then take the belt off, in case you want to recreate scenes if a supervillain, takes off Batman's belt, because that's what they be doing when they capture Batman. But yeah, I really love the detail on this belt. Although, just with the Superman, I do wish it was painted a little bit more yellow or gold, but it's not a bad yellow color. And I also really love how they sculpted the muscles. Oh yeah, and I forgot to go over this the face sculpt. I really love how they did the face sculpt. I meant the head sculpt as well, even though he's wearing a mask. I definitely think he gives off the vibes of the Batman you'll be terrified of to meet in a dark alley. I do also want to say, now as for the Bruce Wayne head, I also do think that they did a nice job at capturing the Bruce Wayne head. He kind of looks like he has a smirk on it, but I think they did a nice job on it. It definitely does look like Bruce Wayne, and I really love how they sculpted the hair on him and how they have some of the hair, waving down on his forehead. I do love how they just painted it a jet black. Yeah, I love the sculpt work on the hair. And I think that Mafex has also did a great job on this Batman head. Like, of him grinning his teeth. It probably would have been more badass if, I don't know, maybe if it was, scarred. But just like what I said with the Superman, me being okay with him not having a smiling head, that it's still, a great figure and doesn't qualify me to call this the perfect Batman figure. All right. All right, hold on, where is, all right, there it is. I almost lost it for a sec. All right, but yeah, I really love the sculpting work on the legs here. Yeah, and I love how they did the painted on the boots. And I also really love how they did the muscle sculpt work on the back of the figure. Like, yeah, just like the Superman, he has a lot of detail. And also, he has no peg holes on the bottom of his feet. I also love the sculpting work on the bottom of the boots. I'm not sure if you guys could see it on camera, but it looks like there's a W. I'm guessing to demonstrate that, his suit was made, from Wayne Enterprises. Now, also, I do want to say, now, as for this cape, I do love the material that they use for this cape, but this was, a, a big complaint of what so many people complained about this figure, and that is this cape, which I'm not too bothered by it, but many people think that this cape is too oversized. I mean, which I kind of could get and understand, but Batman's cape is meant to be wide. But hey, at least I could get him to do this, so he got the ability to glide or, take images of him using his cape as a parachute. Like, yeah, his cape is so long, and it's also made out of a wire cape, just like on the Superman. And, but yeah, and obviously it's important that, his cape could drape around him, because that Batman loves covering himself up with his cape. Alright, but yeah. But overall, I really love the look of this figure. I really love the look of this figure. Okay, so now for the articulation, I would say that he has very solid articulation. Like, I really like the articulation on this guy. But, pretty much once again, I didn't get so lucky on avoiding the QC issues, because just like with the Superman, I was going to, get a fully reissued one, but this one did come with the previous DC logo, so like, yeah, I guess that explains it. But because and also he came super loose. I think I might have to buy that joint tightening stuff, the opposite of shock oil, and put it on him. Or maybe the looseness won't bother me too much, but he could look left and right, and he does have neck movement. He can, with the head alone, he could look up about that much, but the neck helps him look up a bit more, so you could get him into some grappling or gliding poses. Arms could come out really good. Like, you can see how fast it came out because of how loose it is. But yeah, the arms could come out really good. He has a butterfly joint. He could twist at the upper waist as well as the lower waist. All right, he does have a bicep swivel, which I hope it doesn't break. I sure hope it's secure. But yeah, he does have a bicep swivel, which is super loose on mine. Double hinge elbow, so he could bend at the elbows really good. He's got hinges on the hands, so good up and down movement with the hands, and also rotation. He could also rotate at the arms. All right. He could kick forward at the leg really good. You know, obviously, because Batman is one of the best, elite martial artists in the DC universe. That's how he could kick really good. He also could kick back pretty decently. He could also do the splits, and he does have, drop hinges, and he does kind of have, oh yeah, he does have a thigh cut. It's just mine is super stiff, that hidden thigh cut. Double hinge knees, so he could bend at the knees really good, but no boot cut. And he got hinges on the feet, so great up and down movement with the feet. Probably a little bit better, than Superman's. Or I think it's because my Superman's is a little bit more stiff. And he does have an ankle pivot, and he does have that toe articulation. Damn, Batman, did you? Is that what you got from kicking the walls? But yeah. So overall, great articulation. He's super fun to pose around, but it's just mine is super loose. So let's get into some size comparisons, shall we? Okay, so size comparison time. Now here is him standing next to the Mafex Hush Superman. And I would say they look like that they're pretty much close to the same height, which is good. I mean, a lot of people tried saying that this Batman, is actually taller than this Superman, which I don't think is the case. I don't know, I guess you could kind of, to some degree, if you look closely, could see that Superman is a little bit taller than Batman, as he should be, because, I mean, as far as I looked up the heights, Superman is about 6'3" and Batman is about 6'2", so it'll make sense why Batman would look taller than Superman. But I get that people might think that Superman should be bigger simply because he's supposed to be, this godlike alien, which, I mean, Superman does have, look like he has a wider body than Batman, which I do love, because I think that definitely perfectly captures the fact that Superman is supposed to be this godlike alien. And, Batman, he's human peak level, but he doesn't look too ultrally slim, which is, good at least. And also, here is Green Lantern added, the DC Icons Green Lantern figure added. And he surprisingly, looks and scales beautifully well with them. Because simply, I mean, he is obviously smaller, but I'm believing that that's accurate because as far as I've seen, characters like the Flash, Green Lantern, and Green Arrow, tend to be smaller than, body type wise, tend to be less bulky than characters like Superman, Batman, and Aquaman. And yeah, and I really love how he looks with them. And this is seeing this is motivating me even more to start and and build a comic style looking Justice League, which I do plan on doing. I'm thinking I might probably get the Mezco, the classic Mezco Wonder Woman, and try to see if I could find the head for the modern one, because I'm not really a big fan of the head that figure comes with, but that will be an expensive gamble if I try buying both of those figures. And I definitely, think I have the perfect Aquaman that I would want to put with them, but I might probably keep that a secret. you know. But yeah, but this is how Batman is going to look, once I get, to my first Justice League, stop motion, part of, his suit evolution. He's going to wear different suits before that, but this is not going to be, the final ideal suit, that I want him to evolve into. But yeah. But this is how he's going to look in my first Justice League stop motion when they unite for the first time. And also, here is him standing next to some two movie figures. On the left, we have the DC Multiverse Mattel 2018 Aquaman figure. And on the right, we have the 2017 Justice League movie DC Multiverse Wonder Woman. Since that's the only Aquaman. Actually, I got two Aquaman figures, and this is the only Wonder Woman I have. And also, here is him standing next to a few other Batman figures I have in my collection. Now, I do want to say that I do want to say that I've made plans to making this the ideal definitive look for Batman, for what I would want this Batman to evolve into. But, I have been thinking a whole lot about that lately, but I made plans to talk about that, in another video. And yeah, and these are all Mattel Batman figures, and like, yeah, and I will obviously, since this is a higher quality, more expensive figure, he obviously, looks better than all of them. I mean, I do like Mattel, but yeah, but this will easily, I'm not sure over this one, but I will definitely say I like this Batman more than, the other three. And also, if you want to see him with some Marvel Legends, here is him standing next to the core 4 members of the Avengers. And also, here's him standing next to a, Mattel Robin figure. And I think he looks great with him. And those are all the stop motions I'm gonna film, since I don't got too many Batman rogues to animate him fighting. And yeah. Okay, so now that will be my review. So now my final thoughts on this figure is that I love this figure. Even though, I didn't get very lucky, and mine, appear to have, a lot of, appear to have some QC issues, since y'all saw that his upper body was easily able to crack open, and, his joints are super loose, but I think the joint part is fixable. And he's kind of, hard to stand because, one of his toe joints are super loose, or might probably be this oversized cape. But other than that, I love this figure because, it's still a very beautiful looking figure. And he's also super fun to pose around. He definitely looks good with the Superman figure that I have. Even like, yeah, but I am soon gonna get, the black one. I am soon gonna get the black one, but not straight away, because I can't be buying these figures like that, knowing how expensive these are. And I do plan on getting, the Nightfall one someday as well. Like, I got so many Mafex Batman figures I want. But yeah, I'll definitely collect more from Mafex. But yeah, I will definitely recommend this if you're a massive Batman fan. Like, yeah. And um and I think that he would be worth the money, even though, even though you should have high awareness of the QC issues, but I think he'll be worth the money because, once again, he's really fun, to play around with, like, because he's so fun to pose around. And, like, yeah, and he definitely will work great if you're looking for a definitive, comic looking, Batman. I mean, but I'm not sure if I will say that this is a perfect Batman figure since I already made it clear multiple times that I prefer the black one. But yeah, there's also Mezco, but I don't own any Mezco Batmans. All right, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the stop motion videos. I know that they're very amateur, but that's because I don't do them too often, and the gaslighter could shut the fuck up before they even say anything to that. And also, let me know how I did in this video. If there is any room for improvement in the comments. And yeah, now this is Super Kal-El signing off.